It's Wednesday, January 25th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a pedestrian killed in Stratford, a lawsuit filed against Trumbull First Selectman, and much more. Frank Granito joins us with a look at the forecast and a Nutmeg Sports update, and later on, Donald Dang will take a look back on this day in history. But first, a Stratford woman was killed early yesterday morning when she was struck by a car on Longbrook Avenue. Stratford police have not identified the woman other than saying that she was 64 years old. The woman was crossing Longbrook Avenue near Patterson Avenue when she was struck by a vehicle around 6:45 in the morning. She was taken to Bridgeport Hospital where she was pronounced dead. That crash occurred on the road behind the rear parking lot of Burlington Coat Factory, and traffic was rerouted at Patterson Avenue and Carriage Place. The scene is roughly 1/10 of a mile from Stratford Police Headquarters. You can check for updates on that story at stratfordstar.com. And a 23-year-old man from Indiana who was arrested by Reading police back in 2010 for the sexual assault of a juvenile while he was visiting Reading was re-arrested by police on Thursday, January 19th for violating probation. The man was 16 when the original crime occurred, so police did not release his name. He was originally convicted of first-degree sexual assault as well as risk of injury to a minor and illegal sexual conduct for crimes committed in 2010. He had been released on probation in Indiana where he lives, but was found to be in violation of his probation. He was arrested by Indiana police and brought to Reading by the U.S. Marshal Service. And a Bridgeport man was being held on a $500,000 bond after police say he broke into his ex-girlfriend's home Monday night and attempted to rape her in front of her 8-year-old son. The Connecticut Post reports that 24-year-old Justin Cosme was charged with home invasion, attempted first-degree sexual assault, third-degree sexual assault, as well as risk of injury to a minor, unlawful restraint, threatening, and disorderly conduct. Police said Cosme forced his way into his former girlfriend's East Side home Monday night, yelling at the victim, waking up her young son, and then assaulting her. Officers arrived at the home a short time later and arrested Cosme. While in holding area at the police department, Cosme allegedly struggled with officers and had to be subdued. A Stratford man traced by a blood trail, keys, and a cell phone has been charged with an October break-in at a veterinary hospital. 31-year-old Nicholas Bruner of Eureka Avenue was arrested Saturday, January 21st on the strength of a warrant charging him with third-degree burglary and second-degree criminal mischief. Stratford police responded to a burglar alarm at the Pet Hospital of Stratford on Linden Avenue back on October 2nd. Officers found a broken window and blood on the window frame, as well as a trail of blood on the floor, a set of keys, and a cell phone. Police said the keys and phone were traced back to Bruner. Bruner was being held on a $10,000 bond and is scheduled to appear in court on February 1st. And in other news, a former Trumbull Town employee and potential future brother-in-law is suing First Selectman Tim Herbst, claiming Herbst slandered him and interfered with his employment and ability to earn a living. In a lawsuit filed November 22nd, Jesse Jablone sued Herbst, seeking damages in excess of $15,000. The suit claims that Herbst fired Jablone from his temporary chief administrative officer position in town because Jablone was dating Herbst's sister, Amanda Herbst. Jablone alleges that Herbst then sabotaged his attempts to find work with the city of Ansonia and told his current employer, Enterprise Car Sales, that Jablone was a drug dealer. Herbst is being sued as an individual, not in his capacity as First Selectman. In a written statement, Herbst implied that the lawsuit was a response to his aggressive criticism of state Democrats and his filing of paperwork seeking statewide office. Herbst also said the decision to terminate Jablone's employment was made to prevent a potential unethical situation in Trumbull Town Hall. But you can get more details on that lawsuit at TrumbleTimes.com. And Stafford police say an alert citizen helped them get a drunk driver off the road this week. Police say an alert citizen at Scalzi Park reported seeing a heavily intoxicated man enter a vehicle in the park and drive away. As a result of the citizen's description, Sergeant Stephen Parada observed the vehicle on Washington Boulevard and stopped it with the assistance of the patrol division. The operator, Timothy Bridge of Hope Street in Stamford, was unable to perform field sobriety tests due to his level of intoxication. Bridge was arrested, and a breath test performed during the booking process showed that his blood alcohol content was more than 3 times the legal limit. Police say Bridge is a repeat offender and has multiple prior offenses in New York and Connecticut. And in New Canaan, an 8,000 square foot, $5 million plus residence at 909 West Road will be serving as a sober house, operated by the Lighthouse organization, with up to 8 men living there while transitioning from addiction treatment back to their homes and families. The house manager for the Lighthouse, who requested anonymity due to the sensitive nature of the facility, gave the New Canaan Advertiser a tour of the house and property on January 24th, while explaining the specifics of who will be staying there, why, and for how long. The men will live in the house, will generally do so for around 3 months. They will have previously been in a 30-day treatment for alcohol or drug abuse, and they must be 30 years old at least and pay for the stay out of pocket, a cost estimated around $12,000 per month each. Most will work locally or in New York City and will do so while they live in that house. The house has been operational for 2 weeks, with 1 man living there at present. More details on that at ncadvertiser.com. Let's switch gears now and throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. Mostly sunny out today as the rain has moved on, at least for now, but still breezy out there with wind gusts reaching 25 miles per hour. Mild conditions today and an expected high of 45 degrees before some increasing cloud cover later this evening and overnight, with the possibility of some scattered showers that'll carry into Thursday morning. Passing morning showers in part of the county early on Thursday should clear out before noon and make for another mild afternoon. Temperatures back up into the low 50s like we saw last weekend, and mostly cloudy early on in the afternoon before breaking for some late day sunshine. Mainly clear overnight with a low of 34 as we head into the start of your weekend. And intervals of sun and clouds on Friday with temperatures back in the low 40s. Wind gusts picking up to 30 miles per hour again, and it will start to get colder in the evening. Temperatures falling down into the high 20s overnight with mostly clear skies before what should be a sunny but chilly weekend around Fairfield County. That's going to do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to step out for a break. When we come back, we'll have more local news, a look back on this day in history, and a Nutmeg Sports Update with Frank coming up after this. Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Want to reach new heights in your fitness and health goals? Find what you're looking for at Elevation Spin, Train, and TRX in Georgetown, Connecticut. Elevation Spin gives you purposeful spinning workouts inspired by the road. We encourage monitoring of heart rate and energy zones. Elevation also offers customized personal training with dedicated professionals passionate about helping you reach your goals. And let us motivate you to reach greater performance and functionality with TRX suspension training, using your own body weight for an incredible dynamic workout. Located at 4 Old Mill Road in Georgetown, call Elevation at 203-544-9503 or visit elevationspintraintrx.com for more.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now during the Start Something New sales event, now through January 31st.
Are you looking for new opportunity this year? How does growing a business with unlimited income potential sound? Christy Kinsman is a local entrepreneur building a global health and wellness business in Fairfield County. Offering cutting-edge anti-aging skincare, all botanically based and paraben-free, and a complete vegan, clean-eating nutritional plan, Christie's looking for business partners that can help get others healthier while taking advantage of an untapped market. Take that first step to freedom from the 9-to-5 grind by learning more about the products and our mentorship program. Contact Christie at thelittlehouseshop@yahoo.com.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
We're back on this January 25th edition of your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to throw it over to Donald Ing for a look back on this day in history. Sorry, it is still January. It is not February yet. Don.
Well, Kate, we're going to start right all the way back in 1858. Felix Mendelssohn's Wedding March is first played at the marriage of Queen Victoria's daughter, Victoria, and Frederick of Prussia. It becomes a popular wedding recessional. It was originally written as part of Mendelssohn's suite of music to go with Shakespeare's play A Midsummer Night's Dream. The Queen, big Mendelssohn fan. In fact, the organ played that the song was played on, still in use at St. Anne's Church in Tottenham, London. To 1937, Guiding Light debuts on NBC Radio. It would run for 72 seasons, by far the longest run for any American broadcast drama. The name, by the way, came from the early seasons when it was set at a country church and the pastor's lamp was always on to welcome those in need of comfort. Also, if you ever wondered why daytime dramas are called soaps or soap operas, because they were geared toward married women who would be home during the day, and they were overwhelmingly sponsored by detergent and household cleaning supply companies because it was assumed that the listener or viewer would be cleaning while the show was on. 1971, Charles Manson and 3 members of the Manson family found guilty of the 1969 Tate LaBianca murders. Manson was sentenced to death, but that sentence was later commuted to life in prison. He has now been denied parole 12 times, but he will be eligible to apply again in 2027 when he will be 92 years old. Finally, now we go to 2003 for this.
I came here 3.5 years ago with the U.S. government to help protect the Turkish people from earthquakes. And now I'm going to go to Iraq to help protect the Iraqi people from the U.S. government.
That was before the 2003 invasion of Iraq. A group of people leave London, England for Baghdad to serve as human shields, intending to prevent the U.S.-led coalition troops from bombing certain locations. Though they acknowledged that Saddam Hussein was a brutal, murderous dictator and that they had no hope of stopping the war, the volunteers hoped to deploy to hospitals and schools to deter coalition bombings. Most of them left Iraq before the invasion, though, citing, among other things, conflict with Iraqi authorities over which sites they would go to, and, believe it or not, safety concerns. That is your look back in history for today, January 25th, and I'm Donald Ing.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, the 2016 hunting season hasn't been friendly to deer in Ridgefield. The town ranked 3rd on the State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection's top 10 list for deer kills with 188. Ridgefield trailed only East Haddam that had 209 and Newtown, which had 198. According to a DEEP report that tracked deer kills from September 15th of 2016 to January 17th, hunters harvested 10,570 deer during the 2016 season, an increase from over 9,000 last year. But let's throw it back over to Frank Granito for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. We were live in Stamford last night for High School Hoops Night here on the HAN Network in a rematch of last season's state championship game between the Stamford Black Knights and Greenwich Cardinals. Stamford finally looking like that championship caliber team again as they rolled over the Greenwich Cardinals 64-33. 3 different Black Knights players all scored in double figures, and Stanford played as close to as perfect a game as they could play, scoring 64 points without attempting a single free throw all night long. Let's take a look at the highlights from Stanford's big win.
From the Kutso Gymnasium on the campus of Stanford High School, it is High School Hoops Night on the HAN Network.
Matched And it's a good night for girls basketball here in the FCAC.
Deep three-pointer on the way off glass, and it's good. Camille Martinez knocks it down.
And the bank is open from Camille Martinez.
40. And down low to the left corner. Crossover by Faison and the one-handed runner. Good finish there, and the Cards are on the board here in the second quarter. Has switched to his zone now as they find Martinez in the corner. She's going to let a three-pointer go. Nothing but net. Her second of the night.
Smooth from the corner there downtown. Over there at Wilton at the Fieldhouse. I feel like I always see a great game there. Nice shot. Again, Brooke Kelly. But Frank, I talked about.
Run out on this one. An impressive win on Pink Night for the Black Knights. 64-33 your final.
With the win, Stanford improves to 7-2 in the conference and into a tie for third place with Danbury and Norwalk. The Black Knights will play St. Joe's at home on Friday this week before they travel to Danbury next Tuesday. Greenwich falls to 6-3 in the FCAC and into 6th place by themselves. The Cards have a tough road ahead now as they will welcome Norwalk and Trumbull to the Cardinals' nest over their next 2 games. A special congratulations to Giacomo Brancato of Fairfield Ward, who picked up his 1,000th career point last night during Ward's win over New Canaan. We have a video of that 1,000th point courtesy of Fairfield Ward Baseball. Let's take a look at that. That was awesome there, too. They stopped the game to properly honor Giacomo and congratulate him on that accomplishment. A senior will be playing, of course, for the Mustangs this spring on the during the baseball season, and then we'll head on to Fairfield University next year, where he will play for the Stags. Congratulations again to Giacomo. And don't forget that tonight we'll be live at Danbury High School for the HAN Network Game of the Week between Fairfield Ward and Danbury. The network's first look at wrestling this winter season. 2 of the top teams in the conference will meet on the mats. That is set to start at 5 o'clock, but we'll have a full preview of that coming up for you on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock this afternoon. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports update. Let's send it back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, in other local news, Lori Davies of Milford, who led efforts to ban circus animal shows in Milford, is celebrating the news that Barnum & Bailey is bringing its circus to a close. On January 14th, Feld Entertainment, Inc., parent company of Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey Circus, announced that the 146-year-old circus would hold its final performance later this year. Its 2 circus units are scheduled to end their tours with their final shows at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island on May 7th and at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, New York on May 21st. The decision was made as a result of high costs coupled with a decline in ticket sales, making the circus an unsustainable business for the company, according to their website. Following the transition of the elephants off of the circus, the website stated, the company saw a decline in ticket sales greater than could have been anticipated. There's a lot more on that story at milfordmirror.com. And after an unseasonably warm winter, Monroe's Economic Development Commission announced that the inaugural State of Connecticut Snow Sculpting Competition and Winter Fun Festival will be postponed to 2018. Barbara Fair, the EDC chair, said that each snow sculpture requires more than 2,000 pounds of snow and that there wasn't enough snowfall this year to stockpile the amount needed for that festival. Fair said the decision was difficult due to the expected positive economic impact to the area and the desire to give Connecticut residents something fun to do in the midst of winter. She said Monroe's planning team will be working over the next 11 months with experts from the surrounding state and others for the national competition to address warm weather challenges so that they'll be able to host Connecticut's inaugural snow sculpture competition regardless of what Mother Nature offers in 2018. And musician, activist, and author Teo Kason Ghost Horse will appear at the Mark Twain Library on Saturday, September 4th at 3:30 p.m. as part of the Alan and Helen Hermes art series. Ghost Horse is a master of the Lakota flute and a teacher of ancient and modern sounds. He performs worldwide and has been featured at the Lincoln Center, Madison Square Garden, and the United Nations, among many other venues. A member of the Cheyenne River Lakota Nation of South Dakota, the speaker has a long history of advocacy advocacy on behalf of Indigenous people throughout the world. His interactive presentation will take attendees on a journey of thought, spirit, and wonder through the eyes of the Lakota. You can get more details on that appearance at thereadingpilot.com. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today on your coffee break after this.
It's all about meeting goals this year, and Trinity there. Offering more classes per day than any other CrossFit gyms in the area, we cater to all fitness levels. Our coaches have a combined 10 years of experience in CrossFit, and as competitors themselves, Trinity coaches can get you ready for competition in 2017. Visit our convenient location on Route 7, Danbury Road, or find out more at trinitycrossfit.com.
Whether you're looking for the freshest seafood, the perfect steak, or want to share delicious appetizers, look no further than the Stone's Throw in Seymour. Chef Peter Hom has more than 30 years of experience creating original recipes in his American eclectic style. Our dishes are made from scratch with fresh, local ingredients that pair perfectly with a seasonal craft beer, a signature cocktail, or your favorite wine. When you visit our Riverside location, you'll feel like you're on vacation when you're only a stone's throw from home. Visit us on Roosevelt Drive in Seymour or at stonesthrowct.com. At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Discover a world of wellness in the heart of New Canaan. Halo Studios, New Canaan's first collaborative wellness center, offers you the freedom to choose from the best and latest health, fitness, and wellness options. Inside Halo Studios, you'll find all the wellness experts you need at places like Halo Fitness, Priority Wellness, and Sama Yoga Center. Come by for a free wellness assessment, open 7 days a week at 45 Grove Street. For more information, visit halostudios.com or call 203-594-9909.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier Network. And we've also reached 1.7 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We're back on this Wednesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today, including that a Stratford woman was killed early yesterday morning when she was struck by a car on Longbrook Avenue. Stratford police have not identified the woman other than saying that she was 64 years old. The woman was crossing Longbrook Avenue near Patterson Avenue when she was struck by a vehicle around 6:45 in the morning. The victim was taken to Bridgeport Hospital where she was pronounced dead. That crash occurred on the road behind the rear parking lot of the Burlington Coat Factory, and traffic was rerouted at Patterson Avenue and Carriage Place. The scene is roughly 1/10 of a mile from Stratford Police Headquarters. You can check for updates on that story at stratfordstar.com. And a 23-year-old man from Indiana who was arrested by Reading police back in 2010 for the sexual assault of a juvenile while he was visiting Reading was rearrested by police on Thursday, January 19th for violating probation. The man was 16 when the original crime occurred, so police did not release his name. He was originally convicted of first-degree sexual assault, risk of injury to a minor, and illegal sexual conduct for the crimes committed in 2010. He had been released on probation in Indiana where he lives, but was found to be in violation of probation. He was arrested by Indiana police and brought to Reading by the U.S. Marshal Service. A Bridgeport man was being held on a $500,000 bond after police say he broke into his ex-girlfriend's home Monday night and attempted to rape her in front of their 8-year-old son. The Connecticut Post reports that 24-year-old Justin Cosme was charged with home invasion, attempted first-degree sexual assault, third-degree sexual assault, as well as risk of injury to a minor. Police said Cosme forced his way into his former girlfriend's East Side home Monday night, yelling at the victim, waking up the young son, and then assaulting her. Officers arrived at the home a short time later and arrested Cosme. While in the holding area at the police department, Cosme allegedly struggled with officers and had to be subdued. A Stratford man traced by a blood trail, keys, and a cell phone has been charged with an October break-in at a veterinary hospital. 31-year-old Nicholas Bruner of Eureka Avenue was arrested by Stratford police Saturday, January 21st, on a warrant charging him with third-degree burglary and criminal mischief. Stratford police responded to a burglar alarm at the pet hospital of Stratford on Linden Avenue back on October 2nd. Officers at the time found a broken window and blood on the window frame, as well as a trail of blood on the floor, a set of keys, and a cell phone. Police said the keys and phone were traced back to Bruner. His bond was set at $10,000 and he's scheduled to appear in court on February 1st. And a former Trumbull Town employee and potential future brother-in-law is suing First Selectman Tim Herbst, claiming Herbst slandered him and interfered with his employment and ability to earn a living. In a lawsuit filed November 22nd, Jesse Jablone sued Herbst, seeking damages in excess of $15,000. The suit claims Herbst fired Jablone from his temporary chief administrative officer position in town because Jablone was dating Herbst's sister. Jablone alleges that Herbst then sabotaged his attempts to find work with the city of Ansonia and told Jablone's current employer, Enterprise Car Sales, that Jablone was a drug dealer. Herbst is being sued as an individual, not in his capacity as First Selectman. In a written statement, Herbst implied that the lawsuit was a response to his aggressive criticism of state Democrats and his recent filing of paperwork seeking statewide office. Herbst said the decision to terminate Jablone's employment was made to prevent a potential unethical situation in Trumbull Town Hall. But you can get more details on the lawsuit at TrumbullTimes.com, and at 12:30 on CT Pulse, we'll be talking more about that story. But let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a final look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. Partly sunny outside right now. The rain has moved on out of Fairfield County, at least for the moment, though. Still breezy out there. Gusts could reach 25 miles per hour today. Mild conditions, an expected high of 45 degrees. We'll see some increasing cloud cover later this evening and overnight, with the possibility of some scattered showers carrying into Thursday morning. Passing morning showers in parts of the county early on tomorrow should clear out before noon and make for another mild afternoon. Temperatures back up into the low 50s and mostly cloudy early in the afternoon before breaking for some late day sunshine. Mainly clear overnight and a low of 34 heading into the start of your weekend. Intervals of sun and clouds on Friday with temperatures back in the low 40s. Wind gusts picking up to 30 miles per hour again, and it will start getting colder in the evening. Temperatures will fall down into the high 20s, mostly clear overnight for what should be a sunny but chilly weekend around Fairfield County. Kate, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Frank. Well, we're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. Coming up at 12:30, myself and Josh Fisher on CT Pulse will be talking to Darienne's First Selectman about her inauguration experience. We'll also be following up on that lawsuit against Trumbull First Selectman Tim Herbst and talking about a lot more. Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock, and Frank, of course, live wrestling action this evening.
Got the Mustangs and the Hatters, two of the top teams in the state.
Awesome. All right, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, we won't see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. We'll be off for a couple days, but your coffee break will be back on Monday at 11, so we'll see you then.